Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Carl. I am your host, Carl Zoellner, one of the attorneys here with Anderson Business Advisors. And today I want to talk about and sort of compare a couple of strange things that may not necessarily seem like they belong together, but there's always lots of confusion, at least in the terminology and definition here. So I want to compare today a little bit between investor and dealer. We hear about these folks or these types of investors as a broader group during a lot of our presentations and a lot of the classes we teach. But there are some key distinctions here when we look at the two. So number one is, what is an investor? When we talk about it from as an investor or dealer, we're normally looking at each of these from the tax side of what we're doing. So if I'm looking at who's doing investor activity or who's doing dealer activity, I first look at the investor. The investor is one of those, or is the folks or the people out there that are doing things like long-term holds. So if you're doing real estate, it's your rental properties, right? You're holding them for an investment purpose or an undisclosed or an undecided period of time usually, and you don't normally don't have an intent to dispose of that property in a sale. So that brings us sort of to the flip side of the coin. On the dealer side, when we look at a dealer, a really simple way to understand it is that basically you're investing, if we're still looking at real estate, in real estate and holding it like it's inventory. So if we envision, your convenience store, right? I'm stocking the shelves at the convenience store with my intent is that those products are going to sell. So with that intent that the products can sell, that is more dealer activity. So say your wholesaling activity, say your flipping activity, or even looking at things like development if you have an intent to sell the property after development and not rent it. These types of activities can run in or considered dealer activities. So when we talk about it as well, we talk about dealers and in reference to dealer status. And most investors, especially if you're real estate investors, do not want to be tagged as a dealer by the IRS, because if you do, now all of a sudden, if you're a dealer, all of your real estate activity is considered inventory. And there's some downsides to that. First downside is going to be, of course, no more well, I shouldn't say no more. You can do installment sales, but the entire total tax on the proceeds from sale are due immediately, not over time like a normal installment sale. You lose out on long-term capital gains. And basically the idea is that your passive investments turn into active inventory, so you lose out on some of those benefits. So we try to avoid dealer status with most of our real estate investors, and there's good news. There's a couple of entities that do that. S corp and a C corp will help you avoid that dealer status. So if you're doing those type of activities, it's one of those things to note that you can have some issues there, but we're able to divide your real estate portfolio or your investments into two different sides. So you can have an active side of what you're doing and a passive side and still get the benefits from both. So to compare, like I say, investor is more passive activities. So like your rental properties, things like that. Dealer, we're looking at things like wholesaling, flipping, items that would come along with traditionally as well with self-employment tax. And we want to protect the investor side of what you're doing from the dealer side if you're doing both and you have the ability to do that. So that's it. That's our comparison. I hope that made it clear. We always get lots of questions between what's the difference between investor and dealer, or am I a dealer, or do I want to be a dealer? So those are a couple key distinctions there. As always, if you have more questions and you are a Platinum client, please feel free to reach out. We're always happy to chat with you as Platinum clients. If you're not yet a client and you have additional questions, we'd encourage you to set up a free consultation. We offer free consultations, and we're happy to draw you out a wealth planning blueprint of what you're doing or what you plan to do, so you at least have our suggestions on deck. There's no commitment there. We're just happy to give you the information because, quite frankly, the more information you have, the better client it makes it makes for us. So we're happy to give out information, and as always as well, I continue to urge you to take advantage of all of our free content out there, whether that's the videos or Tax Tuesday from Toby, videos from Clint, or videos from Michael Bowman as well. There is a ton of free content out there, including Coffee with Carl. So until next time, we'll catch you. Have a good one and happy investing. Thanks, everybody.